Hello, hello! My name is Callista, and welcome back to Danganronpa 2, Goodbye Despair. In the last episode, Peko was executed, and maybe Fuyuhiko was executed alongside her. It certainly looked very dire. They were both in the middle of, like, little samurai robot things that looked like they were stabbing the shit out of everything. I'm pretty sure that goes against Monokuma's rules. I'm pretty sure, but if he somehow survives this, again, more evidence of the simulation theory, because if that happened in real life, there is no way he would get out of that. Absolutely none.
You're still talking about that?
You. The hell's wrong with you? Aren't you pissed that two of your friends got killed?
Such despair.
I am pissed. And I even feel sad and hopeless. But still.
Isn't that right?
It's going to be alright. This despair is worthless. Even this despair is just a ladder to a bright, shining future that awaits us. The higher the ladder, the brighter we can shine. That is the unmistakable truth. Calling me a ladder, huh? You say some pretty interesting things. Poo-hoo-hoo. In a way, your misguided thoughts of what hope should be remind me of him, Makoto, the doormat. I don't really understand what you're saying.
Listen carefully.
Anyway, I shall make a declaration. We will definitely destroy you. The hopes of all the ultimates here will definitely, completely, utterly destroy you. There won't even be a strand of cotton left when we're done with you. That's your future. How much longer are you planning to say such stupid things? Don't you understand? Even Fuyuhiko died, you know.
Not yet. He's still alive.
What?
I will accept that.
Everyone, Fuyuhiko is still alive.
You serious?
Are you serious? Game, why do you make me do this? Why? Fuyuhiko! My throat! Jesus Christ! Frantically, we rushed over to Fuyuhiko's side. I mean, thank God we have the ultimate nurse here, but one, that's a lot of blood. 2, his eye looks fucked. 3, he's on a beach. Sand is getting into his bloodstream. No, this is bad. This may be above Mikan's pay grade.
He's still breathing.
Is he gonna be okay? Do something! Hey! You need to save him! Hey!
I'm trying! But his blood, he won't stop bleeding out! His pulse is getting weaker!
Can't you do anything about it? God damn it!
Well, serves him right.
You're so stupid!
Were you filled with hope at the thought of saving her yourself? That's why you ended up like that.
You stupid brother!
What are you so laid back about? You need to hurry up and save him.
I don't believe it!
Huh? A surprise order?
What the heck?
Why do I have to burn my precious calories just to save some Yakuza scum?
That's wrong.
It's your duty because you have rules in place. And they not only bind the students, they also bind you.
It's your duty to save him.
Huh?
Duty?
Hey. 'Cause it's written in the school trip rules. If only the Blackened gets executed, then Fuyuhiko shouldn't be allowed to be executed. Well, if I could, I would do something about it right now. But since my magic stick was taken away, I'm practically powerless. Hey. But you should be able to do it.
Unbelievable.
Jeez, I guess I have no choice.
Fine.
Well, there's no way I can violate a rule, even if it's me.
So,
Fine then, I'll save him. Really?
like,
I was actually gonna do that all along, so I've already prepared for this. Huh? Prepared? And that's when it happened. A siren began ringing out of nowhere, and gradually grew closer and closer. Oh no!
An ambulance?
A mono ambulance! Oh lord!
just leave the rest to me, Dr. Killgood.
I would not trust a doctor with that name.
Dr. Killgood, you've already killed your patients.
We gotta get this patient to the Monokuma Hospital ER and get him under 24-hour observation stat!
There's a hospital?
So, I'll see you later!
And after he said that, the ambulance containing Monokuma and Fuyuhiko vanished from our sight.
Is it really gonna be okay to leave this to Monokuma?
Damn it.
It can't be helped. It's not like there were any other way.
Perhaps.
He's gonna be fine. He's probably gonna get better and come back to us again.
You're right. He's definitely gonna come back and talk a lot of smack as if nothing happened. Then all we can do is wait. Bitch.
Why do we have to wait for him? I mean, he caused Mahiru's death, you know.
However,
we must put that aside since Peko has already been punished. Or else we will not be able to move forwards.
Fall, my tears.
There are no second chances in life. We cannot return to what has already transpired. There is no other way than to move forward, like an arrow of light piercing through the darkness.
damn it!
I guess. Things aren't as exciting if a shit stirrer like him ain't around. I didn't realise it, but I was wishing for that too. From the bottom of my heart, I really wanted him to return. Fuyuhiko! I don't want anyone else to be a sacrifice. And so the class trial ended. But we still can't see the real ending that we really want yet. When that finally arrives, what will have happened to us by then? No matter where I look, no matter what possibilities I look for, I can't see our future, not even a speck. As if we're in a boat, floating unreliably in a vast, dark sea. We were just left there, alone. Only one word could explain our situation. Despair. We couldn't find a more suitable word than that. "15 days left.
You guys can see it, right? You can see this countdown too? 4 people are already gone. We took our time preparing the hope fragments, but now we're no longer able to gather them. Honestly, I'm not so sure anymore. Whether it's better if we let them leave this island, or if we shouldn't let them escape. For those kids, which option is hope and which is despair? But I guess there's no time to hesitate. If this countdown reaches 0, that guy will probably take over our plan's final stage as well. What lies beyond that is the foul resurrection of the ultimate despair. And the continuation of the biggest, most awful, most tragic event in human history. That cannot be allowed. We must prevent that by any means necessary. Even if we have to pay the ultimate price, I will definitely prevent it by any means. Everything is for the sake of a future filled with hope.
Chapter 2, Sea and Punishment, Sin and Coconuts. End. Surviving students 12. Oh, no, I don't want that present. I don't want that. How dare you? You have obtained a present, Black Dragon Blade. Yeah, I'll save. How dare. Much offense. And you know what? Because again, I wanna have a little chat. Just go over what I'm thinking. Hopefully this doesn't take us to the you know, the end of the episode like it did last time. I only have one theory that I want to go over, and then I kind of want to talk about the characters a little bit, because I did get a comment on an episode, this would be a few weeks ago, and unfortunately, YouTube has a tendency of doing this. It'll delete comments if there are a bunch of swear words, and YouTube will flag that up as like, ooh, naughty, naughty, we better delete this. And sadly, it's a comment I would have liked to have responded to, and it was about the characters. We'll go over the theory first. So, a couple of things right at the end there I found very interesting when Usami was saying maybe we shouldn't let them escape, and, you know, oh, this could bring back the ultimate despair. I'll go over the ultimate despair first, because that is intriguing. At the end of Trigger Happy Havoc, we saw that, you know, Monokuma came back. You know, he had that, I think it was after the credits where it was revealed he was still alive. There was someone controlling him, as it were. I've thought this for a while, but how do I put this? I didn't have any real evidence, shall we say. Junko was killed. There is absolutely no doubt in my mind about that. She was killed. She was smushed. She went through all of the executions. She is dead. She is dead as dicks. However, Junko was extraordinarily smart. she was extraordinarily smart. If she somehow managed to build Monokuma and, you know, orchestrate just a load of bollocks from behind the scenes. And we also know that she had, for a while, she had alter ego. I wonder if she was able to access alter ego's code. If we're talking about the ultimate despair being revived, I wonder if somewhere out there is an alter ego version of Junko. There is something somewhere that is basically like her consciousness, her ideas. You know, what alter ego was to Chihiro. I wonder if there is something like that with Junko, because we know that she had alter ego for a while. And we know she was extraordinarily smart. Calling her the ultimate fashionista, I would argue, is an insult. She was so much more than that. So much more. And I would absolutely love to see Junko again. I love Junko in Trigger Happy Havoc. So I would love if there was an AI version of her just dicking about someplace. Now I'm gonna go on to the thing about shall we let them escape. Earlier on in this chapter, we learned about the World Ender organization and the group that I'm calling the Mirai group. Monokuma kind of indicated that there are multiple traitors on the island. There are members of World Ender and there are members of Mirai. And I've already said, I think the Mirai people are Usami and Chiaki. They are working to help the students, or the people who believe themselves to be students. They are working to help us. World Ender are the people we have to be wary of. And I did say, oh, I wonder if this could be a situation where we've got, you know, double traitors. The thing about Twilight Syndrome murder case, because, you know, I don't feel like I'm... The thing I noticed about Twilight Syndrome murder case is that there were more than a couple of scenes which were very specific, shall we say. And I'm not saying that the dialogue was accurate, but there were multiple scenes that only had one person, and yet somehow Monokuma knew. Monokuma knew about these scenes. You know, the scene between Sato and Mahiru, the scene between Fuyuhiko, well, it wasn't between anyone, but where Fuyuhiko found the evidence. We have the scenes earlier with the group. I said in the trial, when Mikan brought up, oh, like, this goes against my privacy, I said, well, if you agreed to this, then your right to privacy would be waived, wouldn't it? The only way that Monokuma would know about that series of events if he was given information by people who were there. And considering there were multiple scenes that involved only one person, that means multiple people gave him information. I don't think this is a case of double traitor. I think this is a case of everyone is the traitor. Because I can't see them picking... Okay, so let's see, like, Mahiru's in World Ender, Fuyuhiko's in World Ender, Hiyoko's in World Ender, and Mikan is in World Ender, and Ibuki, but no one else is. That's such a random group. That is a really random group. So if it's not just them, then it has to be everyone. Who better to rehabilitate? People who were supposed to be the hopes for the future, who fell, and now Mirai is like, we can make them better. Maybe we can make them better. So we'll put them in this simulation and we'll turn them back to a time when they were still hopeful, and maybe we can work through their trauma. I think all of these people were in World Ender, with the exception of Chiaki, and Usami because they aren't real. But everyone else, I reckon, was in World Ender. And here's the thing. I've said before, how did the Monokuma virus get into the simulation? If the Mirai group are really, you know, they're working hard, they're like, okay, we've got to rehabilitate these people, we're gonna do good for the world, we're gonna bring hope back to the world, you know they'd be on high alert. They wouldn't let some random person come in like, oh, I've got this USB stick, mind if I plug it in? No, that isn't gonna happen. That wouldn't happen. But they could do it. If the Mirai group genuinely believed, okay, they want to be better, they want to do better, they want to be hopeful again, they would have an opportunity to infect the simulation with the Monokuma virus. And if they were a part of World Ender, and World Ender was Junko's organization, then potentially they could also have inflicted an AI version of... Again, I'm going through... I'm riding this train to its natural conclusion. If there is a Junko AI, I reckon that their entire purpose for being here was getting her back. I reckon they're all a part of World Ender. They inflicted the simulation with the Monokuma virus. Either, if there is a Junko AI, it's to get her back. If I'm grasping at straws there, I reckon it's to shut down the Mirai group. To say, oh, you're trying to be hopeful? Fuck the lot of yous. You wanted to help, and now we're killing each other. This is all your fault. Fuck you. Death to hope. Despair reigns. Fuck the lot of yous. I reckon, depending on whether there is a Junko AI or not, I think that's what's going on. It's either to screw over the Mirai group and make them feel despair, or it's to bring Junko back, because they are all in on it. They just don't remember because this is them in high school. That's what I think. That's what I think is happening. Now, on to the next thing, the characters. How do I feel about the characters? Because the comment I got, I'm not going to lie, it did make me laugh a little bit. The comment was basically, anytime a girl shows a flaw, they become the worst character ever. But if a guy is being a pervert, such as Teru, or if he's being batshit crazy, then they're fine. I'm gonna dissect this piecemeal. Anytime a girl shows a flaw, she becomes the worst character ever. I really don't understand that, because that is only true for Mahiru. I like all the other girls. I know I talk shit about Hiyoko and Mikan a lot. I don't believe I've ever said that I hate them. Hell, if you want to include Trigger Happy Havoc, again, that only fits Kyoko and Mahiru. Those are the only two characters that I've been like, I fucking hate these bitches. I want them to die. Fuck them. They make me want to smack my head into the wall. Fuck them. Fuck them wholeheartedly. Like, all the other characters I like, including Hiyoko, yes, I discuss her flaws a lot, but for me, liking a character doesn't mean, and I completely ignore their negative points. I'm just gonna wash over those. No, if a character I like is being shitty, I'm gonna talk about it. And Hiyoko and Mikan, they're the characters that they have red flag flaws. With Mikan, I think she's lying and pretending that she's weaker than she is, and what do I always say when I speak about Mikan? I don't think she's being malicious. I think it comes from a place that she's been hurt repeatedly. She's been bullied terribly. And this is just a method of coping with that. It's a method of defending herself. I don't think she's doing it to be malicious. And with Hiyoko, again, I typically say from a past lolly to a current lolly, I feel a great deal of empathy towards her. I think a lot of her behavior probably stems from the fact that she has been treated like a small child ever since she was little, and as such she has a tendency of swearing a lot to kind of, oh, I'm not a kid. I'm not a kid. Fuck you. I'm not a kid. And also the thing with, being treated like a kid, she probably won't have learned empathy. Small children are some of the least empathetic people out there. They are typically very selfish because they haven't learned how to regulate that yet. And that is very typical of Hiyoko. I think she could be a really good person, but as long as everyone coddles her and no one, picks her up on, hey, you're behaving really rude, stop that. You need to stop that. As long as no one does that, she will never grow. She will continue to be this very childlike character. That doesn't mean I hate her by any stretch of the imagination. And as for the guys, I have never said any of their behavior is fine. With Teru, I said that he was funny and that his death was strangely sympathetic, but I always said his behavior was abhorrent. His behavior was fucking disgusting. It was awful. Like, he was... Umbri did say in his, free time events, Teru even goes so far as poisoning Hajime with an aphrodisiac. That is one of the most fucked up things you could do, spiking someone without their consent. And you know what? Let's play devil's advocate. He was just trying to make Hajime feel good. If you think that is a genuine excuse for spiking someone with an aphrodisiac, then you are fucked in the head. I'm not going to apologize for that. If you're offended, good, be offended. Because that is so fucked. If you were at a party and you see your friend and they're acting kind of crazy and you say, oh, what's wrong with Samantha? And some guy comes over to you and says, oh yeah, I drugged her drink because she was standing in the corner and I didn't think she was having a good time, so I took away her consent. Because I know what's best for her. Even though I've never met her before and I don't know her very much, I decided that I know better than her and I drugged her drink. You would not, oh yeah, that makes perfect sense. You'd be like, what the fuck is wrong with you, dude? Seriously, what the fuck is wrong with you? Teru's behavior is disgusting. It is abhorrent. I don't have the words. I don't have the words. I can still find him funny and think he was sympathetic. Avril Lavigne lives rent-free in my head, and that cutscene with his mum was very sweet. That doesn't mean I'm somehow okay with his behavior. Batshit insane, that could either be Nagito or Fuyuhiko. In Fuyuhiko's case, I always say that the students are in the right to feel scared of him. I think his threats are bullshit. If you want to kill someone, if you want to send someone to a whorehouse, you don't threaten to do it, you just do it. I've always said I thought his threats were bullshit, but the students have every right to feel afraid because he is still making threats. He's ultimately making threats to them and they should feel scared. With Nagito, to be honest, I like Nagito, but I don't have much of an opinion on him. He intrigues me, I guess would be the best way I can put it. I'm looking at my timer. I can see I've only got 2 minutes left. I'm so sorry. But I like to talk. My apologies. With Nagito, again, I completely understand why the students would be wary of him. I completely understand that. I trust him when he says, I'm not actually going to do anything. I'm waiting for someone to take me up on my offer. But the students don't know that. And so it does make sense that they'd be wary of him. I think the reason why I defend Nagito and Fuyuhiko, because here's the thing, it's not even that I really like Fuyuhiko either. I'm not like, oh, he's one of my favorite characters, because to be honest, he's barely had any screen time. He had a lot right at the end of the second class trial, but prior to that, he's barely had any screen time. I don't really have much of an opinion on him. The reason why I defend Nagito and Fuyuhiko a lot is because I think they're being treated unfairly. That's what I don't like, when a character is being treated unfairly. With Nagito, it's the whole like, oh, he's at fault. If someone takes him up on his offer, then he's to blame. I'm like, no, he isn't. He's responsible for his own actions, but if someone takes him up on his offer, he's not responsible for that. if a guy cheats on his wife, who do you blame? Do you blame the husband or do you blame the mistress? Personally, I put zero blame on the mistress. Even if she knew he had a wife, I do not care because she did not make any vows to that guy's wife. She did not, speak before an elected official or before a representative of her god and say, I promise I will never seduce your husband. He did, though. He promised to do that, so he is responsible for his actions. And I don't like the fact that they're putting it on Nagito that he is somehow responsible for everyone else. It's on him if someone else agrees to his offer. I don't like that. And with Fuyuhiko, it's the same thing where they're like, oh, he's a Yakuza. That means we should dislike him on principle because he's probably killed people. What? He's killed people? What a bastard. I'm like, you were already treating him like ass. You don't get to be surprised. Like, you were treating him like you thought he was a killer. Then it turns out that's true. You have no right to suddenly act surprised or shocked. There goes my timer. If you were treating him like a regular person and then found out he was a killer, then, yeah, that's understandable. But they're treating him like he's a murderer and then acting surprised when that turns out to be true. I dislike that. If you were to say, Callista, you go off on the girls more than the guys, that I would absolutely agree to. I 100% go off more on the girls than the guys, because the game doesn't. I don't know if you've noticed this, I most certainly have. The game holds the guys to standards, but it doesn't hold the girls to those same standards. Every time Teru Teru did something fucked, at least 2 people would jump in and say, Teru Teru, why are you being such a little bitch? Teru Teru, why the fuck are you acting like this? Same thing with Nagito, same thing with Fuyuhiko. How many people have stood up to Hiyoko? When Hiyoko threatened to stab Mikan in her vagina, who said, why the fuck are you behaving like that? No one. No one said anything. Anytime the girls do something, there is silence. Anytime the guys do something, there is a whole host of like, why the fuck are you like this? And to be honest, I find it demeaning. I find it extremely demeaning that the game is like, oh yeah, the guys, well, they have standards. Yeah, of course they have standards. Yeah, the girls, why should we take what they say seriously? No, of course, girls don't need standards. No, that's... why should we, listen to anything they're saying? No. I don't think they meant it like that, but that's how it comes off to me. The girls don't have standards because who really cares what they're saying? It's not like they're saying anything important. I find it so demeaning. I don't like it. So yes, I do go harder on the girls because the game speaks for me when the guys does something. That's why I tended not to say stuff when Teru Teru did, when he was acting pervy. Because 2 to 3 people would jump in and be like, sir, you're a bitch. There was nothing for me to add. But like I said, Hiyoko's threatening to stab people in their genitals. Like, that's not okay. Stuff needs to be said about that. And if the game isn't going to say anything, then I'm going to say it. That doesn't mean I hate them. That doesn't mean I hate all the girls. It just means that I wish the game would hold the girls to the same standard as the guys. I hope that makes sense. Of the remaining cast, like I said, I'm either neutral or I like them. The only characters that I really don't like are Nekomaru and Kazuichi. Nekomaru, to be fair, his personality seems nice. It's just the fact that he keeps talking about his shitting habits. I don't like it. I will give him credit, he did apologise. When, I think it was Mahiru was like, you're disgusting, stop it. He did apologise, but the fact that he keeps doing it, it kind of invalidates his apology. If someone says, hey, you're making me uncomfortable, can you stop doing that? Yeah, I'm sorry. Shit! Like, your apology was meaningless, sir. You need to do better. If someone says you're making me uncomfortable, you stop. You don't stop for a little while and then carry it on later. And Kazuichi's behaving very stalkerishly. Kazuichi, to be honest, I don't hate him, mainly because I think he is ultimately harmless. He's acting like a simp, and he's trying to be in the same places as Sonya, but I don't think he'd do anything. I don't think he'd pull a Teru and try drugging her, if that makes sense. That's why I dislike him but don't hate him. Yeah, everyone else I'm either neutral towards or I like them. So I just wanted to say, just because I talk shit about characters, that doesn't mean I hate them. It's just that the game isn't bringing up their flaws. That's the issue. If the roles were reversed and the game was like, we'll hold the girls to a high standard and the guys, we won't say anything, I'd be going off on them. But it's, like I said, the game almost treats the girls like, oh, we don't care what they're saying. Like, it's irrelevant. It's meaningless. So yeah, those are my views on the characters. Those are my theories for what I think may or may not be coming up. Now then, as I said, my timer did go off, so you know what? I'm gonna bring this episode to a close right here. In the next one, someone is doing something. We'll find out who and what then, but until then, please remember to like if you enjoyed, leave a comment below, and if you wanted to subscribe, it would be very much appreciated. I've been Callista. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next episode.